Y'all already know the rules. When you come in my house, take off your shoes and super violate that like button. It don't cost you nothing to hit that like button. Shall we begin? Shall we begin?
When disaster strikes, the worst place to be is trapped. If you don't have multiple escape routes planned already, then you're going to be at a disadvantage. Here are 6 secret escape routes that you can use when shit hits the fan to escape to safety. You'll want to bookmark this video and share it with a friend. Number 1, railroad tracks. Most people will stick to the roads, and that's why you should avoid them. Railroad tracks stretch for miles and miles, often through rural areas and away from urban metropolitan centers. Number 2, power line trails. They cut through deep woods, often far away from major roads. They offer a direct path through rural areas and backcountry where few people will be looking. Number 3 is for you city slickers, underground tunnels and drainage systems. In urban areas, storm drains, sewer tunnels, and subway maintenance routes all offer a secret path underneath the city. But tunnels come with risks. Some dead end, others flood, and some may have inhabitants that you don't want to encounter. Carry a flashlight, probably a gas mask as well. Number 4, creeks, streams, and riverbanks. Waterways are natural escape routes that most people overlook. Plus, walking through water can hide your tracks. Number 5, alleyways and back roads. If looters and rioters take over the main streets, you need to know about these side routes so that you can escape unseen. Many of them also connect to parking lots, fire escapes, rooftops, all of which can give you an advantage. Number 6, old logging roads and fire roads. Most modern maps don't even show these. Many are overgrown or abandoned, but they can still be traveled by foot, bicycle, dirt bike, even ATV. What did I leave out? Well, let me know in the comments.
War with Iran doesn't just mean missiles overseas. It means retaliation. And for the better part of this decade, retaliation didn't need a passport. Every major adversary on the planet runs intelligence operations inside the United States. That's not fear, that's just how nation states operate. Russia does it, China does it, and Iran does it. And yes, a sleeper cell does not have to be a 10-man team. It can be one individual who waits, blends in, and acts when directed. We've already seen DHS warn about potential retaliation amid the Iran operation. The FBI is currently investigating terrorism ties in Austin. That alone tells you the domestic threat environment has shifted. The most likely retaliation right now is cyber. Infrastructure, finance, supply chains, transportation networks, that's asymmetric warfare. That's how you hit a country without sending in the tanks. But the idea that adversarial actors could be inside the United States, that's not radical, that's just reality. Intelligence services position assets globally. They always have. The threat environment is elevated. Cyber retaliation is highly plausible, targeted violence is possible, and large-scale synchronized attacks remain a threat. They don't just activate networks after a war starts. They build them long before it ever begins. Stay alert and stay rational.
If you want to be ready for anything that comes, if you want to be able to get out of Dodge at a moment's notice because current events, the world's just looking more and more crazy, then your vehicle has to be ready. It amazes me how many vehicles today, how many people drive around, especially younger generations, without any paper maps in their vehicle at all. And if you do need to bug out at a moment's notice to escape danger, there are high odds that networks and systems will be down. You won't be able to use maps on your phone, GPS systems in your car. You need analog. In fact, it amazes me how many people don't even have a clue how to read a road map these days. It's becoming a lost skill. Nothing's going to add more stress to an already stressful situation like having to backtrack 30 minutes because you took a wrong turn. If you had to go to a family or friend's house in some nearby state, would you know how to get there if you didn't have your phone or a GPS? Paper maps. Road maps used to be available for sale at gas stations everywhere. Now they're hard to find. You have to order them. You're not going to be able to get them at a moment's notice when you really need them. You have to get them in advance. Let me know down in the comments and be honest. Do you keep paper maps in your vehicle, or is this just a Gen X thing?
They just started 2 wars to bury the Epstein files. Only Arabs know exactly what's happening. February 19th, Prince Andrew arrested for Epstein connections. February 24th, Bill Gates apologizes for Epstein ties. February 26th, Hillary testifies. World Economic Forum president resigns. February 27th, Bill Clinton testifies. 7 days of the biggest scandal exposures in history. Then what happens? Same day, Pakistan attacks Afghanistan. Next day, the US strikes Iran's leadership. 2 wars in 2 days. Here's what experienced observers notice. You can't make scandals disappear, but you can bury them under bigger events. Epstein dominated every headline all week. Now everyone's watching explosions. Nobody's talking about Clinton or Gates anymore. But here's the suspicious part. The same week global conflict rises, major defense contracts start moving. This is how power protects itself. 7 people exposed in 7 days. 2 wars started in 2 days. While the public watches conflict, deals get signed. Investigations stall. Nothing happens to the elite. Most people see separate news stories. Strategic thinkers see timing. The people at the top don't panic. They redirect attention. You don't fight power by reacting emotionally. You study how it moves. Never assume scandals alone will take down the powerful. Always watch how chaos reshapes influence. If you want to learn how to read power patterns instead of headlines, comment money and I'll share more.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we are finishing it.
You literally started the war. Pete, there is no we didn't start the war. You literally started the war. Pete, you changed your title to Secretary of War because you love war so much. You started the war. Pete, everybody went to bed Friday night. Everybody went to bed Friday night. No war. We woke up Saturday morning to war. Everyone woke up to a war because you started it. At 11 p.m., the president called you and he knew you'd be awake because you were probably doing Jaeger bombs because you love bombing so much like your own liver. And he said, Pete, I need a distraction. Give me a war. And then you grabbed your phone and said, ChatGPT, I need a distraction. Give me a war. And then ChatGPT gave you a war. And then you named it Operation Epic Fury because your brain is a PlayStation 2. You stupid man. You started this war and you don't even know how to finish it. You're lying to everyone. You're gaslighting people so much on every way. You're literally gaslighting people. You're literally burning oil fields on the other side of the world. You have no win condition. We're in a biblical holy war now, and we are being run by the Antichrist, Pete. You have no wins. You have no way out. You're a loser millennial who's failed upwards his entire life, and now the entire world is staring at you, and they can see that you are a naked moron. And now you have to hope that we somehow survive. And the best case scenario for you in the name Pete Hegseth is that it is slowly forgotten the same way we've forgotten the names of all those World War I generals. Fucking donkey.
Some breaking news, Israel took a huge amount of damage last night by Iranian attacks, and Iran was using missiles that we didn't even know they had the capability of making. For context, the missiles Iran was using last night we had never seen before. These were missiles that broke up into 80 or so smaller missiles to evade Israeli air defense systems. Because of this, the Israeli Iron Dome air defenses got completely overwhelmed and stood no chance of intercepting the Iranian missiles because there was so many of them. And so Iran carried out a massive attack on Israel all of last night, and possibly hundreds and hundreds of buildings in Israel and Tel Aviv have been completely leveled to the ground. Now, there's videos that have come out of these attacks last night, and it's safe to say this is something we've never seen before. Not even in the war in Ukraine have we seen attacks on this scale. The videos coming out of Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, etc. show hundreds and hundreds of missiles just falling into the ground in Israel, blowing everything to pieces. Now, this is absolutely crazy. This is technology we didn't know Iran had the capability of making. And because of this, a lot of people are asking questions of how did Iran get this technology? The scientists that could have done this were assassinated by the US and Israel months ago. Iran should not be able to make these missiles. And so there's a lot of people saying that maybe Russia and China have actually delivered the technology to Iran for Iran to use against Israel here. And if that's the case, and that proof comes out, it means that Russia and China are directly kind of involved in this war, and they've supplied these missiles that we've never seen used before to Iran for Iran to use against Israel. As I said, these missiles would break up into 80 or so different missiles, which would then hit their targets in Israel. This is absolutely insane. Of course, though, I'm going to be keeping you updated as we now move into day 4 of the war, so leave me a follow so that you don't miss anything to do with the Iran conflict.
China is probably going to go to war with America. Here's why. 85% of China's oil, 85%, the U.S. now controls Venezuela and the Strait of Hormuz in Iran. Now, why did Japan bomb the America during Pearl Harbor? Why did they take 2,400 American lives? Because we weren't giving them the oil they needed, and they were running out. So they said, we're down to our last resort. We must go to war. If China feels that way, right now they do. They have 90-day reserves, and they're going to have to spend significantly more money on their oil through Russian pipelines, which Russia is already expending tons and tons of resources on their current war on their battlefront with Ukraine. So you have to ask yourself, if the U.S. is positioning them to gain leverage, are they undervaluing something? Well, Japan undervalued two things with America. One, their ability to mobilize the industrial complex for one, military things, aircraft carriers, boats, oil, and two, the morale Americans had and patriotism to get behind the war. Well, is America miscalculating Chinese mentality and infrastructure and industrial capabilities? The answer is they are. China will go to war with the US if they feel they're struggling. They have massive industrial capability, and it will be a war of attrition with massive losses on both our side and theirs. So I don't know where this is heading, but I can tell you, if the US doesn't figure out a trade deal right now with China for oil, we will go into World War III. And World War III will be the most brutal war. Why? Because if both sides start to lose, they will escalate to a nuclear war. And this isn't a regular war. This is a war run by AI, and this is a war run with the most advanced weapons we have ever had. The last thing we want to see is World War III between two of the world's superpowers, China and America. So America, get your shit together. Share this with your friends. Share this with people who might have connections to politicians. And let's make sure we figure it out before China feels cornered, because the clock is ticking.
Independent civilian reports are coming out from soldiers that anywhere between 500 and 1,000 U.S. military troops have been killed in the Iran war in the past 2 days. As I said before, this is going to be an extremely bloody and long war. Prepare your young people to be drafted. There will be a draft opened in America. America does not have the active duty service members to fight this war. America will need new service members. So prepare your young people to go off to war. God loves you. I love you.
If you are 18 to 25, you are cooked. You going to World War III. If you are 26 to 39, you are still cooked, because the age cap's at 39. You going to World War III. If you have ADHD, you are cooked. You are going to World War III. If you have diabetes, congratulations, you ain't going to World War III. If you've ever been put in a mental facility, congratulations, you are not going to World War III. If you are in college, I'm sorry, you are cooked. They actually want you more for the draft because they want to put you in a specialized position. You are going to World War III. If you have a master's degree, you are cooked. If you dropped out of high school, you are safe from World War III. They don't want you. If you are a felon, you are not going to World War III. Now is the best time to be a felon. If you are LGBTQ, I'm sorry, you are cooked. You are still going to World War III. Now, if you're transitioning, you are safe. You are not going to World War III. If you are your only mother's son, I am sorry, you are cooked. You are going to World War III. If you are a woman, you are only half cooked, because men are required to go first, but at any time Congress can change legislation if they need more people. If you have kids, you are going to World War III. But if you're actively pregnant, you are not going to World War III. If you have major depressive disorder or severe anxiety, you got to be able to prove, it got to be documented, or you are cooked. If it's not documented, you going to World War III. Like and comment for part 2.
Hey, Iran. First and foremost, assalamu alaikum. Okay. Happy Ramadan. Yes, you want to get my formalities out the way. That ain't got nothing to do with us. You know, I'm just here to speak on behalf of my people. We ain't never had an issue with y'all. My name is actually Arabic. And as a matter of fact, if you knew anything about niggas, we really do admire the Muslim community. As a matter of fact, when our brothers go to prison, they come out, mashallah. A whole lot of niggas don't even eat pork just off the strength of solidarity. Have y'all ever heard of Malcolm X? Y'all would have loved him. If only y'all knew how much black folks really fuck with y'all. Like, you know how many Samajes is walking around? My son's middle name is Ali. Let's be a little bit more intentional with our get back. Y'all have our permission. Just something to think about.
Listen, man. There's a war going on outside. No man is safe from. In the words of Prodigy, rest in peace. I can't tell you what to do. Because in some cases, I don't know what to do. For example, in America, I don't even understand with the Epstein's files and now the distraction of this war as we move towards a new world order, right? Out of chaos comes destruction. I heard everything. I pay attention to everything. I heard Trump clearly when he said, this is the last time that you have to vote. I heard him clearly. I heard him clearly when they said, you will own nothing and you'll be happy. So you telling me I won't own my Benz no more? My Benzes? You telling me I won't have my beautiful backyard with my oasis and my pond and my koi fish? You telling me I won't have my fish tank with my African cichlids? I'm not going to have none of that. I'm not even going to have my beautiful leather coats. None of the nice things that make me feel happy. You telling me I won't even have my fire pit in my yard because I won't have my house. You will own nothing and still be happy? The only way that you can own nothing and still be happy is because everything is about to be taken away from you. The world is getting ready to be reduced to rubble. So when they actually give you these new cities in this new world order, them 15-minute cities, you'll be so happy for them to give you free meals that you can't travel outside of. Everything is moving towards a new world order with a new world leader. Huh? Some of us been studying this for years, so we know where this is going. My thing is, we still going to work, going to school, and traveling in different directions during the day and coming back towards the same direction during the night. Now, we don't know what's getting ready to happen. For all we know, this could be a shit show. But what we do know is, if my kids went to school in the Bronx, some of them is in Westchester County, and some of them is in Brooklyn. When those missiles start dropping, we don't know where they're going to drop at. You don't know where they're going to drop at. Will you find yourself being forced into a different direction from your family? Do you have an evacuation meeting point? Is your kid smart enough? Are you smart enough to meet and find that actual point? Could you make it to that point? If something jumps off right now and missiles start dropping, will you ever see your family again? They may still be alive somewhere else, like The Walking Dead. You know, when Rick was in the hospital and his family was, man, that was TV show. You could be an hour away from somebody, just an hour away. And there's a possibility you'll never run into them again in life. If an EMP hits us in America and you are travel now, you're now forced to travel by foot. There's so many things that we have to take into consideration. There's so many conversations. Listen, if you a parent, you have no choice but to start having these conversations with your children. What, you gonna leave them in the dark? Have them in school like they like they're on the Titanic? Singing them a nursery rhyme, a bedtime story, trying to put them to sleep when you know the ship is drowning? America is a sinking ship, and it's being sank on purpose by the powers that be. If you're not telling your kids what's going on, or you're not having a talk with them, you're doing them a disservice and you're doing them dirty. It's better for everybody to be on the same page. Don't make them believe that everything is going to be all right. Oh, you just fear-mongering. Yeah. You absolutely right. I definitely fear a missile coming through the top of my house while I'm laying next to my wife and my kids. You absolutely right. I fear the highways and the bridges fall into shambles. I fear the power of man being unleashed on this earth. I fear the power of evil men who created evil weapons because they had nothing else better to do. And as I sit back and I analyze the times that we are living in and what's going on right in front of my lying eyes, all I could think about is my ancestors and how we was invaded in America. All I could think about is how we was invaded, our ancestors, and reduced to rubble. We went from being Native Americans to African Americans, and some of us never stepped foot on Africa a day in our life. We were a conquered people on stolen land, enslaved, and our memories was erased. We never got the land back. Now we just run around bragging about the projects. I'm going to keep y'all updated, give you as much information as I possibly can. Make sure your notification buttons is on. I need for y'all to talk to me in the comment section. What do we do? You know the crazy part about it is? Some of us men got hard-headed women. That's the mother of our hard-headed children. How do you convince a family or your woman and your children to all pack up and get out of town before it's too late? When you can't even get the chick to go, she won't even go do the laundry, or better yet, she won't even hook you up a steak. Y'all just coexisting in the same house. Get right or get left. It's time to start having these conversations with your woman. Or maybe it's time for you to leave your woman. Because at the end of the day, when you listen to the stories of in the Bible, when Lot told his wife not to look back, I think it was Lot, and she looked back and she turned to stone. Talk to me in the comment section, and I'm going to be talking back to you. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. I'm telling you right now, there's some people out there that don't doomsday prep because they know when things hit the fan, you're going to have something and they're going to come get it. What are you going to do to protect it? I'm out.